Don't leave the chat.
What is up, our beautiful people? Welcome to Generation Z. I'm Van.
I'm Pam.
And I'm Og.
And today we are going to be talking about pure love.
Why are we talking about pure love?
Oh, guys.
Why are we all wearing red? Well, Valentine's Day came early this year. We are just so pumped to talk about love today and just... We were just really excited about this holiday in general, and we were like, we want to talk about love. And we were honestly all really, really excited about it just because it's love. Like, how could you not be happy talking about love?
It's the best topic.
And we're all pretty happy right now in our lives since we all have a significant other to love, you know what I mean?
Not that you need one.
Not that
you need one, exactly. You don't need one.
At all. Which is honestly what our show is mostly going to be about. We're not going to be coming on here talking about
how we're
oh my god, like it's so great to be in love. Like we want to really center it around, you know, loving yourself and how self-love is so important. And especially on this Valentine's Day, we want to use this holiday as like a reminder, a love reminder, not a bring your teddy bear for your boyfriend or girlfriend.
Not that you can't do that.
Not that you can't do that.
Not that you can't buy a giant teddy bear.
Guys, we're going to talk about everything. Yeah, self-love, like love for other individuals, you know. There's lots of forms of pure love, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's awesome. It's all love today. So it's a good episode. It's going to be a fun episode. There's going to be so much juice. I don't even know if we're going to be able to fit it all in one show.
Well, we wanted to start it off by saying that love is, oh look, there's Mom popping in.
From time to time.
She's supposed to be sleeping right now. Guys,
my microphone wasn't working. My microphone wasn't
working. We woke up at 6
a.m.
Yeah, it's currently 6 a.m. right now, 6:05.
This is a really big deal.
Or 6:02.
We woke up at 5 a.m. actually, not 6 a.m.
Yeah, because we had to get ready so that we could be here at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
For you guys, so please tune in. Don't leave us.
No, because we have a long day and we've been like scheduling, and so this week we have like a huge schedule that we're trying to like accomplish, and today we have to like make like a certain amount of videos, so we had to make our show really, really early for you guys on live.
First of all, what are you guys' plans for Valentine's Day?
Oh, our plans.
Van and I are actually not gonna get to be with
I know. Me and Pam are gonna be in Colombia on Valentine's Day without our boyfriends for a Bang Energy launch party. Sadly, we're not going to be with our boyfriends, but I'm going to see mine right after. Like, I'm literally going to go from Colombia and go see the boo. Right after Colombia, I'm going to Miami to see the boo.
That's actually pretty
must
lucky.
be nice.
Pam's over here, like, slitting her wrist. Like, no.
I don't really know.
Oh,
yeah, we're not going to see each other for Valentine's Day. But honestly, it's not like the outcome turned out fine. Like, I was saying that I wanted to leave the country this year, and I'm finally gonna.
Yes, on Valentine's Day.
On Valentine's Day, which kind of sucks, but
in the second month of the year, that's pretty quick, man.
I know.
That's pretty awesome.
My mom was trying to tell me too, though. My mom was trying to tell me, she's like, "What's Valentine's Day?" Like, it's just.
My mom has always raised us like that, though.
Yeah.
Like Valentine's Day, like, I mean, she's all about love, but she's always been like, she was like a tough love type of girl. Like,
I mean, because realistically, like.
Let's
be real.
We were talking last night about the show, and I thought Pam was going to be like, oh my God, like, it's Valentine's Day. It's such a beautiful holiday. And since she's not, I'm the one that's going to say it. Like, I think that it's so cool that we have a day of the year that is centered around love.
No, yeah, it's
like,
cute.
that means people are, like, awake, you know?
It's cute, but it's not that important.
What do you mean? I feel like it's the only holiday that matters. If you don't make it all corny and around, like, if you don't, like, really think about it and make it, like, a, like, super, I don't want to say the word gay, but yeah, kind of, like, really, like, ew, unicorny, lame with your BF. Yeah. It's like, what if we turn it around? We change the game. Make this holiday about self-love, self-worth. Like,
love that.
The word love isn't supposed to be, like, just, like, directed towards a significant other. It's supposed, like, I really want to make this Valentine's Day, since we're not going to be with our BFs, let's make it about self-love.
Oh my God, I agree. Right? I love that. What a time to be.
I will be. I will be with.
Oh yeah,
with
what are
beau.
your plans?
I will be with my girlfriend.
August waiting for his moment. He's like, yes, I will go into the vineyards.
In case you guys weren't gonna ask.
In case you guys weren't asking, yes, I'm taking Annabelle to a vineyard in Malibu, and then we might stay
Annabelle's
out there.
Aug's girlfriend.
And, yeah, Annabelle Doan is my better half.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so
you know what's funny? Oh, sorry, I just want to say we all kind of do long distance.
Yeah, sort of. Way. Yeah, we all pretty much kind of do. Mine is the shortest distance.
Nothing is as bad as me and Pam's.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing
Yeah,
is
it's
as
pretty
bad as me and Pam's 3-hour time difference.
But you know what, everyone? Okay, we'll get into that later. But let's talk about what you're doing for Valentine's Day.
Well, yeah, we found a cute little Malibu vineyard, and we're gonna spend a good portion of the day there, and then we wanna kind of rent out our own Airbnb and just like spend the night like painting. You know?
I mean, I'm sure so many people are renting like hotels, Airbnbs for Valentine's Day. That's like the ideal day to just like get away and not sleep at home.
Even if it's just like, even if it is just going and but getting a hotel that's down the street from your place.
Experience.
It's like,
it's all about being somewhere that isn't your house.
Just
a change of scenery.
Change of scenery, yeah.
Exactly. And just
although I'm kind of a huge homebody, like I would rather be home than in a hotel.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel you.
Hotels,
the comfort of your own home is nice.
Yeah,
I'm not
sure.
gonna lie. That is really
For
nice.
sure. Well, we wanted to start off the love convo kind of by bringing up the fact that love is our natural state of being.
Van really wanted to say that
I really
one.
wanted to say
Van
that.
wanted to say that
saying
one.
this all day.
I have been literally thinking about it so much because I remember reading in a book one time where it
What
said,
book, Van? Tell us.
I think it was
The Power of Intention.
No,
You read it in The Power of Intention.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, well.
It wasn't The Power of Intention. It was pretty sure it was Becoming Like God, but not that it has anything to do with God, but it just says that your natural state of being and like ego and all of that comes through experiences of the world and like what the world shapes you into. Like it makes you see the side of your ego, but like really in our true nature we were made in love. And if you think about it, two people had to make love to make you, so you are literally your natural state of being.
Your project of love.
A project of love. Like you bleed blood love.
That's a good quote.
you
Your
bleed
project
love.
of love.
Your
I'm sure
project
no
of
one's
love.
used that.
Yes,
No,
I'm
maybe
sure.
they have.
Look at that. That's a nice way to start.
Yeah.
That's a nice way to start off.
I think it's really important for you to know that you weren't made in vain. Like you weren't made for no reason. Like you were special, and you were made when two people were making love. Me and Christian always say this too, that like we have to be careful, or like any of you guys have to be careful, because if you really love your significant other, like that's kind of when you create babies. That's when you really love that person, and like you
Where
actually
did you
make
hear
love.
that?
It's a thing. We made it up. We made it up.
Love
like it's a
that
thing.
theory, but kind of scary.
It is kind of scary, because if you're like really making love, it's like, damn, you gotta chill. Like you gotta be careful, you know, because we're not trying to
too much love will make a baby. is what
Yeah,
you're
too much
saying.
love will make a
too much love
baby.
will
You
make
gotta
a
be
baby.
careful.
And
You gotta
probably a really
conserve
cute
the love.
baby.
Yeah.
Really cute, loving baby.
That's what I'm saying. Oh my God, that was another thing too, is we were saying, like, people are always saying, like, oh, your family's so beautiful, and we're like, thank you. And then Christian always says, he's always like, oh, well, it's because you guys, like, it's because your parents really loved each other, and they made you really, like, in love, and so you guys came out like your
You
love
were
children.
saying that, and you were like, that's why people come out like.
No, that's not. We're not gonna say that right now.
What?
Oh,
I wasn't gonna
everyone's
get into
beautiful.
that. I wasn't
Everyone
gonna-
comes
not
out
gonna
of
get
love.
into that. No.
No, but yeah.
Somebody said Jackie's energy said that's about to be my bio. I repeated it as soon as you said it, Pam. Project of love. It's
Project
so
of
cute.
love.
It's so cute.
That is really cute.
I liked it
Project.
too. Did you make that up on the spot?
Wait, I don't know. We were just talking about it and it just came up. Project of you were like
Project of love, but using the word project is
It's
different.
a project because
though, yeah.
like you make it.
You
like,
are.
Instead of using,
you're
I like that you use
creating.
project instead of product of love.
Yeah.
You said project.
You're a
of love.
project.
Yeah,
Like a
'cause
vision
you're
board.
a whole
Still
vision.
the same
You're
thing,
not
yeah.
just one product.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
You're a project. You're a simulation.
Oh.
All right, we're getting deep in
Okay,
there.
getting too deep now.
And at any point, if you guys want, well,
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
you were created in love, right? So you're created in love, and you come into this world bleeding love. You're a project of love. You are made from a product of love, and you
Project
come
of
here.
love made from a product of love.
And I think you should always be chasing love. I think that Valentine's Day is a reminder, thank the Lord that someone created such a beautiful holiday, to remind us that we should be living every single day in love, and either self-love or in relationships, because not only the person you date, but the person you see at work every single day. Treat them with love, because life is a boomerang and it's going to bounce right back to you. Love is always going to bounce right back if it's what you give. Hate is going to bounce right back if it's what you give. So 100%. Make sure that you focus on the love. And we pop in love, you got to stay focusing and roaming around in love. That's the main idea of life, I think.
How would you say that what would keep you like grounded in a relationship? Like, say for example, somebody who like loses in touch with themselves in a relationship.
Well, think about like maybe what was going on before the relationship. Were they good before they were
like what if the love is lost?
It can be many reasons. I mean,
what is your question?
Yeah, what is the question?
You're sweating. Yeah, I'm sweating.
No, I'm just trying to I guess you're right. Like,
have you guys ever been in relationships where
the love just fades, but
was it ever love? Was it actually love from the start?
Okay.
Were you in love with yourself before you went into the relationship?
Tell us about your relationships. It's Valentine's Day special today. If you're just now tuning in, we're talking about love. We're all wearing red.
Relationships. We want to hear your struggles and your fights.
We want to hear about your relationships. We want to hear about your love experiences with yourself or with your significant other or with family.
You guys to be much a part of the show as we are. You know, we want to talk juicy details. Get personal with us. You know what I mean? Talk to us about your life. You know, like we're here to talk with you guys, man.
How much do you really believe that you have to love yourself before you love someone else or get into a relationship?
I think
that have you ever got into a relationship without loving yourself and then have it
you're your own favorite comedian. You have to be like your own favorite comedian. You gotta like love everything about yourself, like meaning like you know like you crack jokes in your head and you laugh at yourself like
100%. You know what I mean? Think it's like the most important thing to
on that level.
Love yourself before you get into a relationship.
Me too.
Yeah.
But like we were saying last night, I also think that it's really important to just let life flow. Like if you want to get into a relationship, even if you are not like at the place where you're in love with yourself, I think that relationship is going to make you grow, and you're going to grow, and you're going to have to go through the times that you're going to have to go through, and life doesn't happen at you, like it happens for you. So I think that sometimes you just got to let it flow. And we're not like all perfect. We're not all little walking Buddhas. Like we're going to make mistakes. We're going to get into relationships that don't serve us, but it was all a part of your process. Don't ever think back and regret anything.
But be considerate too if you're going to be doing that stuff. If you don't love yourself and you're going to be with somebody else, like be considerate.
Oh yeah.
Man and I were talking about this. Yeah. Just like, because being considerate or being having that kind of, what's the word? It's kind of it sounds kind of the same. Not being considerate, but kind of like putting yourself in someone else's shoes in a way and thinking about like them in a way. It's called being compassion. Being compassionate.
Is it compassionate?
It is having compassion for another individual. Is actually acting. It is acting through love. In and of itself, because you care enough about that one other person that even if you don't love them, at least you're acting with love by caring a little bit about whether you're going to hurt them or not. You know what I mean?
Now we're bouncing from self-love to it isn't self-love. The only love isn't just self-love. I think that the most important love is the love of giving. And thinking of others before you think of yourself.
Do you think that comes from self-love? Like, do you think that we give more when we love ourselves?
Yeah.
I think that
100%.
I think that really the basis of everything is
you gotta love yourself before you can love anyone else.
Ooh, I did did you see my poll? You did. For Diosa, I did one for our company's page, and I did like a little questionnaire asking people what is one universal thing that if you could like change from the world, like what would it be? And a lot of people put self-love. Like that was the biggest one.
Damn,
self-love and empathy.
Imagine a world where everybody's feeling themselves. I bet
Melly
that was
everybody would be happy.
Melly K, love you, girl. Thanks for tuning in.
Mel, I love you, Mel.
She said, I think that you can fall in love with someone, but as time goes on, and if that person isn't who you're meant for. But as time goes on, and if that person isn't who you're meant for, you fall out of love because you both gained and learned whatever you needed from. That's my opinion of falling out of love with people, opportunities, and jobs.
That's a good way of looking at it.
You always got to look at it that way. Like at least you got something out of it, because not every relationship's gonna be perfect, because we're always in a constant battle, just trying to deal with trying to be the best version of ourselves. And in the way, things can happen, but it's life, you know?
True.
In my relationships, I think like the most reoccurring situation or problem in my relationships was always that I didn't know how to let go of that person, because I didn't know how to like break it to them that I didn't want to be with them anymore. And I mean, I think I've broken that already. Like I literally broke it in my last relationship, but I think that was like the hardest thing. And that was like a blatant show of like, I can't, it was a huge it was selfish because I was keeping them around.
Yeah, it's a good way. Yeah.
I was keeping them around thinking that it was to like, how does mom say, cubrir el sol with one hand?
Cover, like.
Thinking that I was just like making them feel good, but at the end I was hurting them the most.
You're fixing one problem without fixing the other.
Yeah.
Like you weren't really solving the problem.
I wasn't solving any problem. And
you were throwing it under.
You're putting
it under the bus.
You're putting sprinkles
under the rug.
She just goes throwing it under the bus.
Sweeping it under the rug. I was sweeping it under the rug. And in my head, I was like, I'm doing it for them. I'm doing it for them. And then at the end of the day, I was actually doing it for myself. And I was too afraid of facing my problems, like right then and there, just doing it, thinking that I didn't want to make them feel bad. When really it was that I was too like, I was too scared to hurt them in the moment, but I hurt them even harder in the long run.
Yep, because you dragged them along.
Yeah, I dragged them along. Yep. And it was like a reoccurring thing, only with that one person though.
Here's the thing though, you learn though, and you learn for the better. And even if it does even if you feel cruel, no, because it feels kind of.
I literally
like
realized it's because I didn't love myself.
There you go.
I literally realized it's because I didn't love myself.
You're acting in the name of love. You are acting in the name of love. If you do break it off sooner rather than later with a person that you're not supposed to be with, like even if it doesn't feel that way, like, and you're avoiding it because you don't want to hurt anybody, because you don't want to like. Because you know that maybe they love you too, and you don't want her to break their heart. Like you have to think that you're acting in the name of love. If you're acting in your own self-interest in a way that's gonna like help you and benefit you in the end, you're acting in the name of love. It's a different kind of love, but love is just
Hundo P.
Love can't be created or destroyed, but transformed.
Jackie said, Pam, I think I get what you were trying to ask. I think that love is lost once one starts to love that significant other way more than you love yourself, or loving that person more than they love you.
Lost in love.
Lost in the love.
Guys, what is up with us with these quotes?
Project of love, lost in love.
We're kind of getting kind of deep too with
lost
this
in love is like a serious problem.
Yeah.
Serious. But
it's a big one.
Oftentimes,
really
if you were truly in love with that person, if you were really truly in love with that person, then they were honestly the ones that drove you to that extent, though. Maybe it was them. Like, you started off actually truly loving them, but maybe it was actually them that drove you to be like you have certain, like, we have situations where this person just like doesn't love themselves, and then now you're busting your ass like trying to make them love themselves, and you literally forget to love yourself.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense.
Inadvertently, like letting yourself go by loving another person that doesn't love themselves enough. Yeah.
I'm sure it happens all the time, like trying to literally love someone else.
But at the same time, I feel like there's no like,
or give someone else love.
If you truly love yourself, there's no limit to the amount of love that you can give. And if you truly love yourself, you won't be with somebody who you know doesn't love themselves either.
But sometimes people could just be toxic.
That's true.
Sometimes people could just be toxic, and you're just holding on to the past.
That's true.
Holding on to the past.
Like reiterating.
Pam's trying to like get thought bubbles going in the audience's head to like
serious,
go in there and comment. Guys, comment, please. We want to know.
After I realized that how much I loved myself, and like I woke up and I started shuffling and stuff, then my last relationship was a lot easier to end when time, although I should have ended it a lot sooner. Oh my God.
It really was so easy.
It was so much easier to do it. It was so much easier to do it because I was just like, I don't deserve it. But like, I promise you, the relationship before, I would have been like, oh my God, the like fear of letting go of someone, like the fear of doing the things that like actually should make us feel so alive, just like doing what we want, like that just blocked me so much. But like when it was time to break up with my last relationship, I was just so like, just gotta do it, like just gotta do it. And of course, it's always difficult. Like it's always it's always a mission because it sucks to hurt someone, you know what I mean? But it's so much better in the long run. And then you realize like, oh God, living your truth. There's nothing like living your truth.
100%.
And guys, don't be somebody because of circumstance. Like, I know sometimes you have to, and there's situations where it's like complicated, but don't be with somebody just because of circumstances.
No.
Like, it's not fair to you, and it's not fair to anybody that has anything to do with the relationship.
You're wasting your time.
You are.
A lot of you guys that are watching us are like 20 to 30 years old. Like, we are in our prime right now.
We are in our prime.
Even if you're in your 50s or even if you're 12, you're in your prime too. You're always in your prime. But, you know, like 20 to 30, you're just like, you got to date. You got to go out there. You got to live.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're in a relationship that like literally doesn't serve you and it's not doing anything good for you, you're literally wasting your youth and wasting your years. And when you're in a relationship with somebody that isn't like sacredly, spiritually good for you, you're actually looking worse. Did you know?
That's true.
You start to look worse. You start to like lose a little bit of who you are.
You could be buying all the best products for your hair, your skin, the nicest clothes, like, but you won't shine.
Yeah.
If you don't have real true love.
If you're
None
having
of the
sexual,
materials will mean anything.
if you're literally having sexual relations with
It's
somebody
so
who isn't like, who has the different intentions for you, not love intentions for you, you are mixing energy, because sex is like such an important thing. Like, sex is such a sacred thing that you should really like leave for the person that you love, and it doesn't necessarily mean you have to leave it for marriage. Not, at least that's not what I believe in. But if you like, make sure it's someone that you really love, because it's just such an important. It's just such a like.
Have you heard of soul
intimate
ties?
thing.
Soul ties. There's this thing that I learned about that's called a soul tie,
What's
and it
that?
talks about how when you have a sexual relationship with someone, I think like they're like DNA or something. I don't want to be too specific because I don't really know, but it like sticks with you, and it sticks around with you for like
Yeah, it lingers.
a year or something like
It
that.
lingers.
It lingers, and it like it's pretty much saying like their energy, because you guys once shared that, you know,
Yeah.
and
That
then
link,
now
yeah.
it stays
like-
with you. And it back to what we were saying about, hold your thought.
No, go ahead.
What we were saying about shining brighter. How many people do you guys know that got out of a relationship and then started shining so bright?
The brightest of the bunch.
A star.
A sunshine.
A star.
A
And it's
sun.
like,
a different person.
and it just
A
goes to show
completely
it's
A
like
different human.
when you're around that negative energy, like it'll make you
Think about it like matte
Dark.
lipstick and lip gloss. You can be matte when you're with someone, and you could be lip gloss when you're alone.
popping. You will be popping in
Your
this
lip
bed.
gloss is
Yeah.
popping.
Yeah.
No, it's sometimes we like we'll get into relationships out of fear of loneliness, and we'll
That
settle.
is a big one.
And in the moment, you're like, oh, like I'm in this because oh my god, I'm finally not alone. And then like months pass, and you're like, what
What
the?
the-
What
yeah.
did
I did.
You
Yeah.
realize how much worse you
I'm
got.
not alone.
Don't ever do it out of loneliness.
I'm not gonna
dude.
out anybody, but
It'll
I got
creep
way
back up
too
to
many
you.
friends that have done that. I have way too
Really?
many friends that have gotten with girlfriends because they were alone, because
That's
they was
just
college, and like you need somebody or you want somebody.
But again, if it's your
Man.
process and you're itching to be in a relationship, obviously do it. You're gonna make that.
You're gonna learn.
The decisions, not necessarily mistakes, because your process is your process. Like, I really do want to like stress on the fact that like you have your own process. You have to make the decisions that you're gonna make, mistakes you're gonna make, to shape the incredible human you're gonna be when you actually choose to marry someone, if you even want to marry someone, because you don't gotta get married. Don't you worry.
Oh, love that.
That's true.
That's a good dude thing.
You don't have to
Isn't
get
that
married.
crazy? Like mom was saying how back in the day, like people had to get married so quick.
Yeah.
It was just like the trend.
And now every day she's
Really?
like, "Don't get married. Don't get married."
It's expensive, man.
Don't
you can't
do
just
it.
like make a
Like,
decision that's gonna cost
we
you all
have
that
the
money.
mother that's
Well,
like,
I'm definitely
do not get
not
married.
gonna have a good.
Like there's like everyone probably has like a mom that's like, you need to get married. Like where's your guy? And my mom's like,
Mom's
don't
always like
do
on
it.
her knees, like, "Please don't get married, please, please." It's really funny, actually. But
my
we were talking about it the other day. I don't really think I want to get like hella married. Like I'll probably like go get married the way mom did. Like
Low key
our
married
parents.
then.
Like
Yeah.
It's like hella
Like,
married. Like
I'm not trying to get
wedding
in that
like,
heavy
a
ass
bunch
white
of
dress. Like I'm not trying
I
to do
don't
that.
even want a white dress.
You
No.
want to
I
surprise
want a pink
everybody and be
dress.
like, "Yo, I got married already." Instead
I
of,
mean, do
"This
they
is
even
what the
have to
wedding
know?
is."
Like,
Well, there
I
you
don't
go.
really want to have a big wedding or anything like that. We just want to go to like a foreign island. We were saying the other
We
day.
were saying like we'd rather go to like have a huge vacation with the.
You guys are already
then just,
pre-planning
like-
it, dude.
No,
Yeah.
no, but we just thought about
They're
it.
about
Oh,
as
because
close
we
as
were-
anybody though
No.
in this, in out of the three of
Because
us.
we
You
were in
guys
the
are closer
car.
than I am.
We were
for
in the
sure.
car and we were like, oh my god, like one day we're gonna get married, and all the friends we have now are the friends that are gonna be at our wedding. And Ben
Yeah,
was like,
it's
I don't want a
true.
wedding, and I was like, I don't want either.
I think it's because our mom didn't have one. Like, you honestly are your parents so bad. Like,
Yeah.
our mom literally ran to the courthouse with our dad, and she literally just
Got
signed
it
some
done.
papers.
She
Yep.
literally says
They
it
got it
like
done.
so
He was 18.
majestically, like they were just like holding hands, like we're free, but like I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it's not how it happened. Doesn't she explain it like it was
No,
like they ran away together?
I think it was that cute because no one wanted them to be together. Like,
That's
their
true.
my
That's
mom
true.
was like a total cougar. She was 23, and my dad was like 18. And then they wanted to get married. Like, honestly, and
6
they
months after
18?
meeting, they only had known each other for
Imagine
6
getting
months.
married.
Guys,
At
we literally
18.
had a fight. Can I just say we had a fight the other day because yesterday because I told my parents, I'm like, after Columbia, I'm going to Miami, and then they were like, oh my God, you're always in Miami. You might as well
Yeah.
live there and
They
come
think that
vacation
Van
here.
goes
Like,
to Miami
you're
a
never.
lot.
When I'm literally gonna go for a day to see my boyfriend, and I just wanted to be like your parents because your parents didn't want you guys to be together, and then like you guys
Whoa,
went
wait.
against the,
Different.
wait, no, but they ran away from their homes basically at 23, 18.
Mm-hmm.
If we tried to leave right now and say getting married, they would be
They
like
would
so
literally
mad.
rip us
But
a
then
new
they were
one.
always complaining about their parents
yeah,
not letting
yeah.
them get married.
You
like,
make a good
like,
point.
I
You make
want
a
to
good
go see my
point.
boyfriend. You ran away from home and got married, and you didn't even have a wedding when everyone was supposed to have weddings at that time.
The only
So-
difference here is that my parents actually like Christian. Like,
Yeah, they love
Yeah,
Christian.
they like
for
Christian.
sure.
Well, yeah,
you know
they
what
love
I mean?
Christian.
Okay, let's get to some comments.
Yeah, make it seem like mom and dad hate Christian. Or
No, not at
but
all.
I'm
No,
just
no, I
saying.
know,
They just love
I
Van
know,
too
I
much
know.
to like
I'm
have her
messing
away
with
for
you.
that
it's
long.
not even that. It's that
It's
we're
not.
running a business now, and like we are a family business now. It
And
used
it's
to be
like-
easier when we were in college. And we were just very separate, kind of leaving like our own little ego lives, and like now everything is made through the team.
And it's like a
Yep.
balance. Like if one of us aren't here, everything just kind of falls out and things go like our scheduling.
But
isn't
arguably,
right.
I think that everything can work out if we
We
schedule
can,
it beforehand.
100%. But the way that we were used to it wasn't working. Okay,
Right.
so Mel said, "Love is when you give 100% every single day and expect nothing in return.
Oh my God.
Actually,
And
I was
saying
gonna
you're
say
sorry even when you, even when you aren't wrong. Life is too short. And saying you're
No.
sorry even when you aren't wrong. Oh, okay, yeah.
Christian,
Yeah.
I live by
That. Love is a lot of
Kristen always-
compromise. Love is
No, that was
love
so
is
weird.
knowing that you're right, but admitting that you're wrong because you love the other person.
Yeah.
But it's also at the same time, it's all how you make it. It's also being honest with the same person if you love them enough as well. Because
always be
thing
honest.
Is, another thing is there's a lot
Stick
of
with the
people that
honest.
like aren't honest with their significant other and they'll like lie or they'll be like, yeah, I like
Sugarcoat
that.
it.
Or like sugarcoat it or like, you know.
but like, what if honest is just your opinion?
Well then, right?
Well,
that is what honesty is.
Christian
That is what
always
honesty
tells me.
is.
Christian's always like, I am always like, it's always my fault. Like in any situation.
Oh my god, Andrew does that too.
Yeah. No, not in like a not in like a messed up way, but like when he looks at situations and I'll be like, oh, was I too much of this? And he's like, no, like I'm never judging
Oh,
you. In
you're
my,
saying it
in
like-
my head, it's always my fault. Like regardless of if it's a big deal or not, or like literally a small little thing, and I'm always like, I'm sorry, like that was about me. And he's like, no, it's fine. Like it's always my fault. Like he never like is there like judging people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of like it is what Mel is saying. Like always say sorry even when you're not, just because. That means you're literally never being run by your ego. Like
Yes.
fighting or
Oh my
like
God,
any
yes.
kind of like collision or argument, any type of disbalance of energy is like that's just both of you guys fighting through your egos. Because at
That's
the end of
true.
the day, if you were like treating everything with love, like you wouldn't even care about saying sorry. Because
But what it-
well, that's sorry that's the way that you think. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, who's right? Like it's all everything is opinion.
Everything.
Well, what's the big idea at the end of the day? Is what
Yeah.
you're saying. Like, what's the big idea with arguing about being right about something at the
Right.
end of the day?
What's the
if it's not
point?
worth it, you know what I mean?
What's the point?
There's one thing. There's a difference between being honest and or having a comfort or like having a conversation with your significant other about something that is on your mind rather than getting confrontational about something really unnecessary that doesn't need to be said, you know? Because another thing is not saying, like, you can't be in a relationship and not say something to somebody or your significant other when you don't like it.
Right.
You know, you want to be honest with them. You want to, like, you don't want to, like you said, like, sugarcoat things. You know, there's like, it's not a fine line, but it's just, you know, there's a difference. There's a big difference. Sure. And you'll know, like, in the name of love, you'll know. you'll know, you know.
What? Mel said, she said, I can't my handle. I hope you guys know who I am.
Wait, what?
She goes, I can't even handle. I hope you guys know who I am. Huh? I used to be moving Mel. Love you guys. This is amazing.
Wait,
we know exactly who you are. No, but this is actually really funny because me and Van, we always laugh about this. We call all of our friends by their usernames.
Instagrams.
Big Girl Dern, Happy Fit K, like sometimes.
Last night, I
like,
went up to me. I was like,
with
me and Happy and Fit K are talking. And she was like, what? And I was like, honestly, don't know her name. But I was kidding. Like, Kristen, obviously, I know your name.
But literally, we call everybody that.
The other day, for the first time, I met somebody who introduced themselves by their Instagram name.
Oh my God.
See,
I do that.
I feel like
Bailey,
people do that because I
Bagels.
always remember their Instagram name like first before their name. Like
Yeah.
I know your name's Mel, but actually not sure if it's Melissa fully or just Mel.
Probably.
Mel, I like what you said about giving without the expectation to receive.
Oh, yeah.
Or loving without the expectation of like kind of receiving anything else. Well, I wanted to mention that before because that is love. And that isn't like we always talk about.
That's something you dealt with a lot in your last relationship.
Yeah. So a lot actually.
A lot, like to teach.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, reiterate to someone.
It's. I think people get it a little more like mixed up, and they think it's like a lot more complex than it actually is. Like, there's just it's plain and simple, you know. Like, if you're gifting somebody something, or if you're loving somebody some in a certain way, there's unconditional love, and then there's like giving to make you kind of like to satisfy a certain like desire in your like in yourself to like maybe make that person like you more. And it's almost always pointing fingers towards like boosting up your ego in a way to kind of make you feel better about yourself. Mm-hmm. But loving unconditionally and acting through unconditional love is giving that person something, right? Whether it's love or giving them, just in general, giving them something without at all expecting anything in return. Mm-hmm. Just as like, just honestly, because it feels good in your heart that you know that they'll feel good for whatever it is that you're giving them, whether it's love or whatever it is.
And that is pure love.
That is pure love.
Oftentimes we don't even know we're doing that though. Like the person in the situation that I was bringing up to you about, I was just really, they were lost. Like I feel like they didn't even know that they were giving to receive. Mm-hmm. I remember I said this in my class when I finished my class the other day. Remember, I think you talked about this. I always think of that as the first thing, and I used to say in my class, "Give and you will receive." Yeah. And then, oh my God.
Sorry, we just had a little phone call.
We're back.
Sorry, guys. I always used to say like, "Give and you'll receive," and then I like changed it up, and I was like, "Give and you'll receive," and then I was like, "But wait. Don't give because you will receive. Give and know that you will receive."
Yes.
And I think that's the most important thing. Like, don't give, like, don't think of the quote, like, give and you will receive in your head, because that is how it works. But don't get it twisted. Uh-huh. Yeah. Come at it from the right form. Like, give without knowing you will receive it, just know, without expecting anything, but know that the laws of the universe do state that you will receive when you give. But don't do it for that reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't do it for that reason.
Fabinator_ said, my boyfriend and I have been together for a while, for a little over 2 years, and being with him has taught me so much about loving myself. He's healed me from my previous relationships and shown me that I can be a girlfriend I want to be. I can be the girlfriend I want to be without neglecting myself and what I need as a person. She also said, I think being a good partner is about showing the same love, support, and commitment to yourself as you show to your significant other.
So important. That's true. Not getting lost in love.
And one more thing. She said, in a relationship, I think you can have positive disagreements and arguments in the sense that you can learn something new about each other and understand how to work on the issue better moving forward. Out of breath.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, you're amazing. What's her name?
Fabinator _. I believe it's Fabiana.
Fabinator _
If,
We've seen her before.
That's a good comment.
You're always on Generation Z. We've read her comments
Yeah.
before.
That's a great comment.
Love
That's
you,
a good
Fabinator.
comment.
And wait, can you read that last part?
yeah.
That last part was
gonna
really good.
Okay.
That last part
It
was
was
about.
sick.
It's just.
Well,
It was. She
in a
talked
relationship,
about.
I think you can have
good-
positive disagreements.
Yeah.
And disagreements and agreements in the sense that you can learn something new about each other and understand how to work on the issue better.
We
moving
talked about
forward.
this. It's kind of like, do you change in love, or do you accept in love? And remember we talked about it the other day.
Last night.
I think both.
I think I talked about it with Christian actually, and Christian said, "I'm always like Christian said."
Oh, Christian's in the live.
He's
by the
always
way.
teaching me things.
Christian,
He is.
put it- ha, ha, ha.
Oh my God, baby.
Yeah. Okay.
He's always teaching me things as I'm teaching him things too. But Pam was having a situation one time with Andrew, and she was like, "I'm not supposed to." Oh,
my God,
I was
what?
sleeping, and I was like sleeping, and I was listening to Pam have this like, this debate with Andrew, and I was like
Debate.
half asleep. You know those like half asleep moments where you're kind of still sleeping and like, but you're kind of still listening to everything that's going on. And I was listening to Pam say, like, you're supposed to accept me for me. Like, you're not supposed to change me. Like, I love you for you. Like, I'm not trying to change you. Like, love is when you don't try and change a person. You just, like, understand them. And then I brought it up to Christian. I was like, what do you think about this topic? Oh, because I woke up and I was like, I had this dream about Pam. I was like, I had this dream where Pam was just staring at me. And she was like, Van, you're not supposed to change for anyone. Like, love.
Is that what I said?
Yeah. Yeah, you're saying you're not supposed to change in love. Like, you're not supposed to try and change me if you love me.
You're supposed to love
That was
somebody for
Pam's
who
argument.
they are.
Yeah, you're supposed to love
But
them. But Kristen
yeah.
came on and said, and he was like, well, because I agreed with Pam. I was like, yeah, like, you are who you are. Like, you're not supposed to change. But he was like, I think love is, like, loving someone enough to, like, actually changing and starting to see their perspective. You know what I mean? It's like, it's giving, literally. It is.
Well, I think that the basis of learning and evolving is putting yourself in like the shoes of someone who isn't you, because if you're too used to your
Empathy.
own lifestyle,
Putting yourself in someone else's shoes.
it is putting yourself in someone else's shoes. But how do you expect to evolve if you don't change the way you see things or the way that you change, like habitual things or whatever? Like, you need to kind of challenge yourself in order to evolve in any kind of way. So love is compromise. In a lot of these relationships, it's called compromise.
Yeah, that's the word.
And it's compromising, like, okay, I want one thing one way, you want one thing another way. Let's meet halfway. Because I love you enough and you love me enough. Let's do it for us. Because I'm willing to do it. You should be like, let's do it.
And
You know
ladies
what I mean?
a
or
lot of the
boys.
times-
No, go ahead.
And also make sure that what you want is coming out of love, because a lot of the times it'll be like, but I want this, but it's like what you want isn't coming out of love, and like, how do you expect me to like compromise when we're like, you know?
Yeah, like relationships
make
where like a
sure.
boyfriend or girlfriend wants to go out and one of them doesn't want to go out, and then they're being weird about it or something like that.
Or when
like,
someone's just being
don't be
like,
weird about it because
don't be
you don't
weird
want
about
them
it.
to go out. Like, you know.
I
No.
just it
the
makes me
worst.
think
That's
like
the relationship's
ladies and
gotta go.
ladies or men, if you're in that type of toxic manipulative crap that we've all been in, especially this one,
It's not love,
who makes
man.
you feel bad about literally when they know your intentions are pure, get the hell out of that
Get
one.
out of that
Yeah.
one. Get
Quick,
out.
run for your life.
There's no learning there. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no
Run for your dear.
That's
run
a
for
one-way
dear life.
street, and that's you. Like, yeah, that's like a one-way street. It's a two. Like, love is a two-way highway. You know, like you need to have two people for there to be love. You know what I mean?
Takes
you
two to
need,
tango.
It takes two to tango. It does.
Yeah.
Like, one person can't be holding all the weight while the other person's just not like willing. You know what I mean? You have to be willing to challenge. Another thing that goes into the topic of challenging yourself or challenging your significant other when you're with them. You know, like, you should be with somebody that doesn't tell you yes every single time. You know, you should be with somebody that will be honest with you and that will challenge you and make you a better version of yourself, because not because they feel some satisfaction from it, but because they want you to do well. You know what I mean? Because you want them to do well. You should support another person, regardless of how you feel about the topic. You should still support them about something. That's just something that actually we were talking about just recently, where we won't disclose names, but somebody just didn't agree with an idea for a career as another person, and they thought it wouldn't be successful. And it was weird because, you know, it's your partner and they may feel a certain way about it, but what is, in your definition, what's the definition of support? You know what I mean? Like, how much do you love them to tell them the truth about how you feel, but then be honest about, you know, how they should feel, or how are you supposed to tell them, you know, like what's going to happen? You know what I mean? You got to be honest with them, but you also have to think in very compassionately and through love. And if that does mean, you know, supporting something that you don't believe in, dude, that's love. You know, love is sacrifice, but love in the name of love.
And it wasn't even something that he didn't believe in. It was just out of fear. Like, it was like, all right, now we're getting really deep into it, but like, if your intentions are pure and if your significant other, you know, because at the deep down, you know that their intentions are pure, support them till the end.
Yeah.
Because when everything that's born out of love is always going to succeed, even if it takes a while.
You don't have to, you don't have to understand someone. You just have to, understand why they do. If you love somebody for who they are, then you will accept them and you will support them no matter what decision they make at the end of the day. Because it's not about you. It's if it's a decision that they want to make, it's about them. You know what I mean? So that's just something small to touch base on.
Yeah, I agree. You don't have to understand, but try to understand. Because the understanding is the empathy part, is the part that...
That's what I was
because
gonna
everybody
say.
has different paths. Like, you can't judge someone, you know, because somebody's getting insecure about something in a relationship, you know? Like, because they have the reasons as to why they're insecure. And maybe they don't...
And we have to remember that we are all one.
Mm-hmm.
But you literally have to understand them because they are you and you are them. And when you realize that, like, literally we are all each other and we're all so connected, we are connected, absolutely connected. 100%. Like, you can't try to tell me that you are not my brother and I am not your sister. It's true. Like, that's true. We are so connected, and I think that'll make you kind of help you understand that someone else, when you realize you're not separate from anyone.
Yes.
Like, the only thing that makes you feel like you're separate from somebody is anti-love, which is ego. Ego is the only thing that makes you feel like, oh, well, I don't belong in this room. Like, I belong over here. Like,
what was that thing in The Power of Intention? It was like saying, you're not your possessions, you're not your clothes, you're not anything, you're not any of that.
You're not.
Like, at the end of the day, we're all the same. Like, just because you have a nice car, like, you have this house, like, does not make you separate. And that's, like, the big problem in society, is that, like, you think that because you have all these things, you're separate from everyone else, but that's never the case.
Never.
At the end of the day, we are all projects of love.
Projects of love.
Isabella Dana said, wow, have never heard such real and honest advice. Love the relationship you guys all share. Love you guys. Such humble people. Love you. And then she goes, I've had trouble loving myself, but I feel that I can't force relationships or love if I can't love myself first. Thank you for those words.
So true.
Damn, you must have a small, like, a certain amount of love for people out there that you don't know, because you're not, like, sabotaging their love life, going through knowing that you don't love yourself. Because that's another thing. Like, if you have empathy and you have empathy in your heart, you live with empathy in your heart, even if you don't love yourself enough, you know, you have to be careful whose heart you're gonna be playing with at the end of the day. It's love that you're talking about here. It's somebody else's love that they have to give to the world. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's precious, and you said it before too. You know, like, love isn't just something you said mostly pertaining to sex, and it's that, you know, you can't just go and have sex with anybody. You know what I mean? It's a connection. It's a legitimate connection. It's a real energy.
It's something that you're sharing that's far bigger than you will ever imagine.
Melly said
that exchange of energy.
Yeah. Melly said some people don't want to give because they haven't received, and some people don't understand that's not how it works. And that's okay. It's all a learning curve. I need to be called out on my shit. I love it because that means my friends or partner want me to grow and not stay stagnant. Mm-hmm. Nothing in nature stops growing, so why should we? If we aren't growing, we're essentially dying.
I'm literally
there you go. I like that.
When are we gonna meet? Like, when are we gonna be in our
always
lives?
say that. Everything around us is growing. Like, what makes you think you're not like a plant? What makes you think that if we're all on this earth, we're all living organisms on this earth, living, breathing, and dying, being born, dying? What makes you think that you're not growing and changing? Just because you can't see the change literally with your own two eyes doesn't mean it's not happening. It's happening.
Oh, it's happening.
It's happening. Oh, I love that you said
Isabella said, if you love someone, you'll do what's best for them. What will help them? I'm sorry. I should not read the comments. I'm like literally... If you love someone, you'll do what's best for them. Early. What will help them?
Yes.
Yes, you will.
Yes.
You will.
And then Melly said, spitting the words today, I just recorded a podcast episode and came straight to listen to this and feel so clear. And I feel so clear-headed. I love you guys.
Seriously,
oh my God, I heard about your podcast and I cannot wait to listen to it. Like, are you kidding? She made like a huge post about it.
Oh my God.
Wait, what?
And I never read posts, and like the one time that I read your post or anyone's post,
miss everything on Instagram. Like, I literally miss everyone's. I think it's because I follow so many people that I don't even know what like my like close people are doing, because I'm just like.
How many people do you follow?
I follow like 2,100.
Damn, yeah, that's a good amount.
Yeah, I follow a lot of people. I need to probably clean out a lot of people from like high school and college, but like I feel too bad. I'm always like that girl. It's like, oh, yeah, seventh period.
Have you ever done that and like unfollowed somebody and then like
then I
they
feel
follow
bad.
you? No, but then they follow you again like later on, and then you're like, oh. I remember I was following you, but like I unfollowed you, and now I feel bad, and you don't know what to do.
Oh God!
I wasn't following him back. I don't know what to do. You know what I mean?
I
feel bad. I feel bad.
Like honestly, if you're not in my inner circle, like I kind of don't want to see you on my TL, but like I also don't want to like make anyone feel bad by unfollowing them. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and then they probably
because then they'll get randomly insecure, thinking that like you didn't like them.
Then let's be honest with them, guys. Like if we don't really hang out with you guys a lot, we'll probably. Like won't follow you if we don't like the content. Like that's the truth.
Great. Now if someone just tuned in, like we sound like the worst humans ever. We were talking about love.
But I'm sure everyone knows.
No, but that is acting through love.
I'm sure everyone like Instagram is life. Like you want to see what your friends are doing. You don't really care. But I mean, like I have made so many internet friends. Are you kidding? My only friends are internet friends.
Literally.
That's true though.
The shuffle community
100%.
The shuffle community is a freaking best.
Dude,
Ooh, shuffle community.
I'm gonna put this down
on IG. Oh, the shuffles.
Shared.
You want me to read it?
Yeah.
Shared goals that as a couple will help toward giving your relationship greater purpose. You have to be connected with one another to have a strong foundational bond. Love that. Mia Sergey. First of all, always see your user. Love you so much. And I love the words she said there. A greater purpose. Ugh. If you're not living with a purpose, what are you living for? Find a purpose with your significant other and grow. 2 minutes.
2 minutes? Thank you.
We got 2 minutes left, guys.
Oh, guys, today's our first show with our new operator, Danielle.
Yes, we have a new operator.
Yes, thank
you.
Operator.
We were discussing this with Mom before about whether we should have our operators join our show. It's up to us, though.
Oh my God, that'd be so
right?
cool.
We would love
Because he's got a mic right there. I mean, he's got one right there. He could just go ahead and speak it.
Can you say hi?
Hello.
Hey!
Also a little bit loud, but yeah, I'm here.
We love him. He's Colombian, so we can relate with him, and
it feels like family. Like, is anybody else Spanish? And then they like hear their origin accent, and it feels like you're like it's like your cousin or something.
Pam's obsessed with the Colombian accent. She's just like,
I just feel like they're my family, even though I've never been to Colombia.
but we're going in 1 week exactly. We leave for Colombia, and it's Pam's first time leaving the country, guys.
I know. It's a big
I'm
deal.
so excited.
That
And I was
huge
saying
deal.
it today. I was like, it's the first time I'm leaving the country, and it's to Colombia. Like, that's so awesome.
Yeah, Pam did
So
say that this
awesome,
morning.
dude.
She's like, that's where mom was roaming around. Like, mom was roaming around being
With
a little
her
girl
boys.
with the boys in Colombia.
know?
Do you guys want to read one more comment before we send off or no?
Sam said, it's so early in LA. You guys are the goats. Oh my God. Are you kidding? Nowhere. Like, this isn't the use. Like, don't,
I
don't
know,
get too
it's
excited.
really early. But the good thing is that if you guys haven't and you are just tuning in and you weren't able to watch our show, which was about pure love, thank you for everyone that tuned in. But if you couldn't, this live is going to be up all day until 24 hours. And we have a YouTube video. We have like all different mobiles recording us, platforms recording us. We're going to put it on YouTube. It's going to be live. And also, it's going to go on Positivo Extremo radio.com, which is the podcast that the radio station that we're on right now, which is my mom's radio station, extremepositivity.com. I'll link it in my story. It's actually going to go live 5 o'clock
5
PM.
o'clock Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Yes, it's going to go on the show. And it's really cool to be able to watch it on the show because you can hear the way it actually sounds with the mics. And it sounds like a legit
shebang.
radio show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you go onto that website, which I'll put on my story, you can check out the show that we just did. But we're basically done, guys.
Yeah, tune in next week. Usually on Wednesdays. Sometimes we do it in the morning. Sometimes we do it at
You
night.
know
But
what?
we always air them at 8 p.m. Eastern time.
I really like this 5 a.m. thing, though. So I think it's going to be
Yeah, I think
every
it's gonna be a
morning,
thing, yeah.
every
I like
Wednesday
it
morning,
too.
guys.
It's kind of good.
It's good.
kind
Like,
of fun,
we're
kind of
ready for
fresh.
our day, and it's 7 a.m. Like, I don't know about
It's-
you. But
yeah,
like,
it's amazing, and you guys are also it's pretty early for them over there too because
Yeah.
it's
it's like
9 a.m.
9,
over
10.
there. Yeah, it's like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
So it's like a.m. for everywhere.
All right,
Oh,
guys.
well, hope you guys all have a great Valentine's Day. Spend
Yeah.
with all your loved ones. If you don't have a loved one, find someone on the street. No.
No, love yourself.
You don't need
That's
a
what
loved
this
one.
show
Yeah,
was
that's all
about.
you
You don't
need.
need a loved one. Take yourself out to dinner.
This show
and buy
was-
yourself chocolate.
This
No,
show
I'm
was about
serious.
Valentine's Day not having to be about someone else.
No.
It's about you. It's about self-love,
Yes.
appreciating yourself,
It
and
all starts
everything
with
you have
you.
to offer to the world.
100%.
Self-love, love in general, love. It all completely starts from within, from you. So
Love yourself, and you will literally attract somebody that you can love.
that's true.
Because as soon as you love yourself, you'll be able to love someone else genuinely, and that love will come.
And once
into
you're
your
giving
life.
out that love, it's going to come right back to you. Someone's going to come into your life that you're going to be like, wow, where have you been all my life?
Yeah.
Not that that matters. Not that you need anyone.
Not that you need
but,
anyone.
but you get the point.
Go to the gym on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, go to the
Ooh,
gym.
work
Work on
on
yourself.
yourself.
Get sexy. Get juicy.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. I love you guys so much. I'm Van,
I'm Pam.
I'm Og.
and this was
Generation Z. See you
Love you
next week,
guys.
guys.